hi there, ho there. Today's topic is going to be choose your weapon. What do I mean by choose my weapon? I don't mean what your concealed carry that you're going to be bringing with you. I mean, what bike? What bike is just the right bike for you on your trips? What bike is going to give you what you need? There are lots and lots of factors, and don't tell me my bike is the best kind for all. No, everybody is going to find their own right bike. There is no one right bike. So let's start with knowing yourself. First of all, what are you accustomed to? What kind of bikes have you ridden in the past? What kind of bike are you riding right now? Also, you might want to consider your stature. Are you comfortable one-cheeking it and just having one foot planted at stops? Or do you need the security of putting both feet down when you stop? That skill set. Also, I'm not comfortable. I've been riding forever. I do not feel comfortable on a bike, even though I've got really long inseam, or maybe it's because I have a really long inseam and I've always flat-footed pretty much any bike I wanted to ride. I'm not comfortable stopping with just one foot down. I really feel much more confident, even though I've been riding, most of my life, then I feel more confident with 2 feet well planted when I stop. Next thing, what is your level of fitness? If you're not very fit, you're not going to want a 1200 GS. Trust me on this. It's a big, heavy bike, and if it tips in the middle of nowhere, if you plan on doing any off-road riding, you better be prepared to pick it up. If you're not going to be picking up a bike, if you're going to be just riding in public areas, staying on the highway, then maybe how much bike you can heft if it tips over isn't as much of a consideration. So think about these things. First of all, what is your body type, right? Are you somebody who's very long in the inseam? Are you comfortable one-cheeking it so that you can stop on one foot when you're on a bike that's very tall? What are you accustomed to? What kind of bikes have you ridden in the past? What kind of bike do you have right now? And third, what is your level of fitness? If it's a bike that you would have to be prepared to pick up when it tips over, are you fit enough to pick it up? Number 2, what kind of riding do you like to do? Are you going to be staying on the slab and just hauling ass to get from place to place? Do you want to be doing side roads? Do you want to do more adventure riding and forestry trails and gravel roads, water crossings? What kind of riding do you like to do? What's your style? Also, are you somebody who likes to stop frequently and sightsee? Walk around a bit, stretch your legs, take pictures? Or are you somebody who just wants to haul ass and get there? Those are very different styles of riding. And for example, if you like to sightsee and stop a lot, you probably don't need to worry about the comfort in the saddle for the long haul nearly as much as somebody who's just going to be riding for 100 miles, stop real quick, ride for another 100 miles, etc. So take these things into consideration. Also, what kind of road surface are you going to be riding on? Are you going to be riding on rough road surface? Are you going to be riding on gravel? What kind of road surface? For example, my Tiger here gives me a lot more confidence on the occasional gravel road, if that's where Google Maps takes me, or my Zumo. If that's where it takes me to a gravel road, I feel much more confident than I did on my VFR 800. On my VFR 800, I would think twice before going down a gravel road. How far is it? I'd really consider not going down a gravel road. But I don't have to do that with my Tiger, so that's something to take into consideration. Number 3, will you be riding 2-up anytime? Are you going to have a passenger? If you're going to have a passenger, you probably want something with at least a rear seat. How often are you going to have a passenger? That's kind of the tipping point between it better be something that she's happy riding, to, okay, it's comfortable. So know which way you fall. If it's going to be something that you're going to be riding two up all the time, you have a riding partner, then make sure to include them in any of your decisions about what bike you're going to have.
Absolutely.
Sit there, happy little tushy down on every single bike that they might be on.
That's right.
Yes, because if they ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. Number 4, how long do you want to be out on the road? That's a huge consideration. Oh, I just want to get out on the road and go touring. I want a bike that I can go touring. Okay, what's your idea of touring? Getting out there for a year at a time? Going on the trip of a lifetime for a month? Going on the trip of a lifetime for a week or 2 weeks? What is your idea of going touring? Are you just going to be going on one big trip? Or are you going to just be going out a lot? And if this is going to be your only bike, is this something that you're going to have fun with locally? Are you going to have fun on those shorter rides? Or is it maybe a big bagger and you're not comfortable taking it up to the mountains in the twisties for local riding? Think about these things. How long do you want to be out there? And is this going to be your primary bike? Are you going to be happy with it all the time? If you have MBS, multiple bike syndrome, and you have multiple bikes, that's not something that you need to worry about. Most people, you have one bike, this is your ride. What are you going to be using it for? How long are you going to be out on the road? Number 5, load planning is going to be on another one. Oops kit is going to be on another video. Road food and how to save money. Those are all things that are going to be on another video. So number 5 is actually, how much shit are you going to be taking with you on the bike? How much shit do you need to take with you? What kind of luggage capacity do you need? Do you need a big bagger? Or are you somebody who travels light? Are you going to be able to do laundry? If you're going to be staying out for at least a week, you might want to see if there are laundry facilities along the way. If you're going to be staying with friends and family, do they mind you using their laundry? Do you need to bring laundry soap with you? I recommend little pods. Those are awesome for traveling, but put them in a hard case so they don't get squished, and they're not useful. Because if one squishes, the whole thing is shit. So put it in a hard box so they don't get squished, and take 3 or 4 with you if you're going to be gone for a month, 1 or 2 if it's going to be a week or 2. You get the idea, right? So just count up how many loads if you're going to be doing laundry. Another option that I've heard a lot is just buying underwear along the way and throwing it away. Don't do laundry. And if you're one of those people who likes to wear your underwear twice, one side, the other side, turn them inside out the second day, don't judge. I know some people who do it. I've still got enough fingers for this, guys. 6, maintenance. What are the intervals? What are the service intervals for maintenance on each bike? Some bikes are shorter oil change maintenance levels than others. Don't argue with me. I don't want to hear it. Oh, you need to no, every bike has its recommended service intervals. How often do you need to change the chain? How often do you need to change the chain and sprockets? If you're going to be traveling for more than just a few weeks at a time, if you're going to be out there like I am, that's something you really want to take into consideration. How often are you going to have to plan to stop for an oil change? How often are you going to have to plan to go somewhere where they have a garage and tools that you can use to do the oil change? And that's something you need to do on your route planning as well. How about if you don't want to mess with a chain? Do you want to go for a belt drive or a shaft drive? If a chain is just too much trouble for you, don't get a chain drive bike. Think that through. With a chain drive bike, you really need to put some extra lube on it every 500 miles. Just squirt a little bit more chain lube on it every 500 miles. For that, having a center stand. I always try to get a bike with a center stand. That's so much easier to oil the chain when you have a center stand. Otherwise, you're spraying a little, walk the bike, spray a little, walk the bike, which is a pain in the ass in my book. I'd much rather have it on a center stand, spin, 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 spray, spin, spin, spray. You get it, right? Do you need any special tools? For example, I know the BMW K bike that my sister had, you had to have a special straw to change the oil. What kind of special tools would you need to work on that bike? Number 7, power outlets for accessories.